Let's begin, guys. Let's begin.
I have some questions for you while we're here.
Sure, buddy.
So,
Also, again, hang on, why can nobody know? The audio, guys, the audio. This happened last time. Is this gonna work? Hang on.
God.
would you happen to
Okay, that's way too loud. Jesus Christ. Okay.
know a girl by the name of
Perfect.
Anna?
Doesn't ring any bells.
And hypothetically, if you were talking to her in a certain context, would you have known she was 14? I'm just fucking with you. I'm here to ask you. I'm here to ask you about Lio Convoy. So
Aiden is the most interesting looking like Aiden looks like FTM Brittany Simon. DZ, where are you? Can you agree with this statement? DZ, where are you? Aiden looks like FTM Brittany Simon. Can I get a picture of Brittany Simon? I'm sorry, I'm going to hell. Brittany Simon. I'm very sorry, guys. I'm very sorry. Like, are these not the same person? Like, is this not Brittany Simon with short hair? Like, are these not the same person? Like, this is literally Brittany with like a bowl cut. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll see you guys all in hell.
so basically,
Sure, buddy.
apparently, I've heard you've been providing some cope on his behalf, some defenses.
Oh, you mean the fucking, like, yeah, Lima thing. So, like, my very basic point with this is Lio got raked over the coals for all this shit, and the basic stuff was stop getting involved in predator hunting and don't dox people.
Do you think that is?
And then
Do you think like the only issue with what he was doing is that he was hunting predators?
I think that was my core issue. I don't care if Lio's, like, bullying, like, fucking retards in Discord calls. I just don't. Why would I care about that?
So you don't care about the Rosa stuff?
I care about the Rosa stuff, but the Rosa stuff is, like, a very specific example. Like, I don't care about, like, for instance, the earlier Sasu calls, right? Like, somebody
don't
who's,
know
like,
what that is.
actively... Okay, so, like, if you've got people who are in that community who are actively trying to engage in these calls and, like, in Beastburgs and cause issues, like, isn't that exactly the same as the call I'm watching you have with, like, Duckbringer and Ico right fucking now? I don't see massive amounts of difference.
Wait, I don't know about any.
Well, and I also think the other difference that's important to highlight is the people that he like makes content out of are not like streamers or public figures. It would be like, let me just get in Discord really quick. Who's the last person to say something? Tito. Tito is not a streamer. Tito is just like a random Discord user or like a random chatter. If I brought the smoke for Tito, that would be insane, right? Like there's like a different level of engagement, or like, you know, if it's just like some random chatter, there's like a different level of engagement than you would have if it was, you know, like another content creator. Like I think it's fine to bring the smoke for people that are like presenting differently in public, but just to like pick on some random person in your community that very obviously has issues is a very, very, very different standard.
Malcolm has all the IQ of a
True.
baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
Lio is a to beat a lot of bite. Literally.
This is a strong message. I completely agree. Thank you, Josh. Everybody witness. Yeah. It's there's a lot of weight. There is true.
Rosa call.
I don't know about any of the other. First of all, just to clarify, this person called in to talk to me, right? Lio, based on what I've seen, it seems like Lio likes a bunch of people watching. He likes feeling like he has power in the call. He just seems to be like a
He's a content cuck, if you will.
A loser in real life that's like compensating for his power, or compensating for his lack of power in real life online by like posturing over the lowest of the low in calls with a bunch of like mentally ill freaks and kids.
I think that's certainly true for a lot of the calls, particularly through to like 2023.
Yeah. Just to clarify, when we say 2023, I feel like you're like under the impression that was forever ago. Like you say, like tell me when Lio doxes someone in the new age. 2023 was only.
Well, I mean, like tell me when. Like, okay, so it's like he went through the drama. He was called out on those things. Said he would not do those things. Has not got involved in predator hunting or like doxing people since then. So like, yeah. Like, what's the standard meant?
Like, why is the bar in hell? Like, I don't understand it at all. It's like, well, he said he wasn't going to kill anybody else, and he hasn't, so why are you mad? It's like, oh.
Does Lio still not provide soft justifications for the Rosa stuff? Like, does he still not say, well, she was doing bad stuff, like, after the fact?
Well, actually, okay. I don't know is the answer to that. I've heard some soft justifications, and anytime that I've heard those soft justifications, he's been called a retard and to shut up.
Yes, so
but at the same time,
the fact that he still
he doesn't. But
he's just like so deeply unlikable, and everybody hates him. So why does everybody feel the need to like defend him? I don't really get it personally. I don't know. It's quite a task. You know, you need a pretty big shield. You know what I mean? It's.
So I'm a big believer in redemption, right? I'm a big believer that people can change. The problem is,
Mm-hmm.
and people use the Coppola, oh, you're only sorry because you just got caught, and then if that's the case, nobody's really sorry. But there are people, there are a few that are just sorry because they got caught, and I don't think those people should be just like welcome back in. It seems to me like Lio responded to the overwhelming backlash he received as opposed to believing that he perpetrated any wrongdoing with his actions. And I feel like that's like exemplary.
Well, they're true, and even like following the Rosa. Oh my god, I just almost died. Even following like the Rosa call, he was still like being I was gonna say a little worm, but a big fat worm, like a sandworm from the Tremors movie. He's Tremors. What is that? The one where they go underground? What movie is that? Where the worms are underground? Do you know the big worms? Is that what that's called? Anyway, you get my gist here. You're picking up what I'm putting down. He's just such an unlikable human being. It is Tremors. Okay, I was right. Anyway, it's like. He's just such an unlikable person. Like there's like no redeeming qualities. It's like all these people are like, yeah, Lio's an idiot. Yeah, Lio's fat. Yeah, Lio's stupid. Yeah, also he's fat. He sucks at predator hunting and he's really fat. And then they're like, yeah, but he's not as bad as everybody says. And it's like, you have not listed one positive trait. I thought it was really interesting too. Like when we were talking to like, oh my God, can I roll my chair in? Jesus Christ. When I was talking to Raven or whatever, when Raven was in here, that little lying bitch, it was like, what is one positive quality that you like about Lio? I don't know. Ask me like a positive quality of anybody that I like, and I'll be able to name you one. Like, what is one redeeming quality other than, you know, the McDonald's discount value, right? Like, he's always got the app ready. You always get your free McDouble or whatever like, okay, fine. I'll take that. That's totally fine. You know, he knows where all the best burger joints are. Okay, cool. Like, we always get the Uber XL. Always get the Uber XL. Bet you do. Like, you know what I mean? Like name a redeeming quality. You know what I mean? Other than redeeming points on the fast food apps. You know what I mean?
Amplified by the fact that you yourself just admitted he's like still providing soft justifications.
He's done soft justifications, but also he has said that the Rosa call was like wrong and bad and something he wouldn't repeat, and he recognizes the issues with. Because again, like so.
Beckett, if he what you just said, right? Is there a case if somebody was only sorry because they were getting public backlash, only sorry because of that, not because the content of their actions or because they see any like substantive wrong, they would say exactly what you just said. That wouldn't really change anything from what I've just accused him of being.
Okay. Let's just like do brass tacks. My main thing is like if Lio's not doing these things, if he's like trying to improve himself and not get involved in the predator hunting and not
He's trying to improve himself. He just crashes out every single day in Discord and tells people to kill themselves. And apparently he's still like fucking with Dreamer like today. Like apparently this is still happening. Like we're still having fucking multi-hour long gauntlet calls with, you know, the intellectually disabled members of our community. Like, and I just don't like. It's like we went from a size 72 waist to a size 71 waist. And it's like, well, he's changed. It's like, well, technically, sure. Like, technically, the atoms have rearranged themselves or whatever. Technically speaking, sure. Like, we're all changing. Like, nothing, you know, nothing is static. Everything is dynamic. Everything is temporary. Nothing is permanent. Blah, 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 blah. Sure. Like, whatever. I guess. You got me there. But it's like, when you ask to see somebody change, you expect to see them not engage in the same or similar behavior, right? Where I think that there's like this little bit of like wiggle room right here, because if somebody says, let me think of like a comparative example. If the criticism is, Malcolm, you're fat as fuck, and all you do is eat fast food McDonald's, and it's fucking disgusting, and I'm like, true. And say that I eat McDonald's for every meal. Let's say that I eat McDonald's for every meal except for one. Well, Malcolm's changed. Can you really still criticize Malcolm and his poor dietary choices? Can you really still even hold that criticism? He's changed. It's like, well, okay, like technically, sure. Technically, okay, fine. Like you're having one less McDonald's, or say that I still eat McDonald's for every single meal, but instead of getting a large, I get a medium. It's like, how much grace do we have to give people? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's kind of like an invertebrate, like a rat, you know, where it's like you see a gap like this big and somehow he can get his whole hulking body through it. You know what I mean? It's like this much wiggle room, but somehow he can get in there. I don't know. He's like Elastigirl, but fat. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Did I mention that he's fat? Write that down.
Drag people into calls to like accuse that like Rosa's a really specific example for like two reasons. Firstly, Rosa had no fucking power. She was a random mod who got dragged in because they couldn't get to fucking Rebecca Star, whatever her fucking name is. It was
Malcolm
across
has all
three
the
fucking
IQ
calls.
of a baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
We're mind melting.
Edu has changed. Dimadi un fries tu alarja.
We're mind melting. This is a strong message. Everybody witness, please.
Key problem as well. If you listen to her talk, even if she did have the physical ability to ban the screamer.
Yeah, she's like obviously like not mentally there. Sure,
yes.
yeah, I agree with you.
Like probably comparable. Her intellect, I would not be surprised if it's like comparable to that of a child, just based off of
Yeah,
listening to
she's like hugely retarded and like very autistic. Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
I don't like how we're describing Rosa this way. Like a profoundly intellectually disabled person is like, oh well, she's just R-worded. It's like, I don't like. I don't like that word. I don't like using that word. I think there's a difference between saying like, oh, this is R-worded, and then being like, that intellectually disabled person who is profoundly impacted is R-worded. I feel like these are like, I don't think that we should be doing that. I don't think that's appropriate. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's like, but again, if he's not doing those things, like what is like, so this is like the constant question I ask. It's like, well, bring me current examples, because people point to things like Dreamer. Well, Dreamer is somebody who's endlessly tried to interact with like Vlad's Discord, with Lio's Discord. That is somebody who is seeking those interactions. He's made videos on me, on Akumu, on loads of different people, and he's like an active fucking troll. It's not the same
Malcolm
thing.
has all the IQ of a baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
Lio must have a great the game for the boys to sweep.
Oh, thank you, Rosie. Everybody witness, please. I mean, maybe if you can get to it, I feel like you got to put on like your fucking spelunking gear to unearth King Arthur's sword there. Like, I mean, if you can't see your toes when you look down, it really doesn't matter. Like, regardless of the impressiveness, yeah. I don't, I don't think that's the case. I'm just gonna say it. I don't think that's the case.
I don't really know.
So
I don't know who Dreamer is.
Well, then why are you? Okay, so like my frustration. No, because my frustration is because you're coming. No, but you're coming to me and going, well, what about Lio Convoy? I give you an example. And go, I don't really know about that. It's like, well, then why are you asking me about it?
Wait,
if you don't know what he's currently doing,
you're using a big, that example was not needed to prove my point, right? My point being, do you not feel as though change or redemption partially involves an acceptance of one's wrongdoing?
Yeah, but I don't think that means that. Like, hold on
now. Wait
so
a damn
what would
minute.
you like if somebody is like, hey, I recognize this was wrong, but there are also other factors where, like, still an element of it may have been fair enough. Or I'm not talking about Lio in specific here. Let's say if somebody really fucked something up, but they're also like, and then this other thing happened, and there was this other element. You can still accept that you're wrong and change your behavior, which I would argue it's not just like accepting you're wrong. I think the like changing of a behavior is what's really important, because that's like the outcome you're looking for. If it's just like, I think people have the right to kind of go, there are other factors there. So if Lio turned around and said, hey, I acted in this particular way because I was being manipulated.
Well, okay, but what are the other factors there? Like, I think that regardless of the factors that are present, I don't know if I would ever talk to somebody who was severely impacted in that way. Like, I don't think that there's really a circumstance where I would like crash out like that over like a Discord drama. And if I do, please euthanize me immediately. Put me down like old Yeller. I don't think anything is that serious. So I don't think that I really truthfully don't know what other mitigating circumstances could lead to this, you know what I mean?
By the people around me, which is true, by the way. It's true. Like, Lio's a fucking idiot and got manipulated by
dude. Isn't he in like his 30s? Like,
he's 40.
Like, again, hold on. I'm not saying that. Hold on. Let me finish the point. It's like, it's not all of the answer to it, but like, he was manipulated. Like, people lied to him about what was happening. That's not just like him being like, if I fed you false information.
We're talking about the Rosa stuff here, right?
Well, I was thinking of like other things actually.
Well, let's just stick to that. That's all I need. That's all I need. Let's just stick to that. What about that situation? Was he lied in any aspect of that?
I don't know the Neko stuff well enough to be aware, because I don't know the full Neko thing. I can give you the example with the Kumu stuff, for example. The Kumu stuff's really easy, because basically Peaches lied to Lio about what Kumu was doing. Same with the Kumu as well. Like loads of people like Nezzy, Doodletone, Seaton, all lied about what Akumu was doing to turn Lio against him.
Let's just for argument's sake say he was totally right, manipulated to do anything wrong in any of those situations.
I'm not saying he didn't do anything wrong.
I can for argument's sake. I can for argument's sake and throw those out the door. Okay, I'm just talking about. There's one very specific situation I'm talking about here, which to me would be indicative of his character in general, just that on its own. And in that particular situation, right, I feel as though for some, like, if he is still providing soft justifications for it to this day, it probably indicates that he still does not fully see the wrongdoing of his actions and merely apologize due to social backlash.
Okay, can you give me examples of the soft justification he's using?
Also, like, how much of a little bitch do you have to be like 40 years old and get manipulated by like a 19-year-old? Like, I'm sure that there are some 19-year-olds that are exceptionally evil. You don't have to work hard to convince me of that. But imagine being like 40 years old and you're like, oh my God, I got tricked again by another 19-year-old on the internet. It's like, well, Well. And again, the main criticism, or I think the main issue that I would point to indict Lio Convoy and his character would be the Jordan situation. And that's something that he has never taken accountability for, by the way. He still continues to believe that that was like the right thing to do, right? That is what I would point to impugn his character, because that is arguably the worst thing that he has ever done. And is something that he refuses to see the wrongdoing in, even to this day. Okay, so we don't have to talk about Rosa. We don't have to talk about, the weird online Discord e-horror shit or whatever the fuck, but like that is more than enough to impugn someone's character. And nobody talks about that, which is very interesting to me. I don't know.
Well, one that I've heard sources say is like, oh well, Rosa like after the fact did some like other bad stuff or whatever, and you even reiterated that to me in like a previous conversation we had, that like she was like something about like she's still going around being a spurg or whatever, something along those lines.
Dude, what do you mean? She's still going around being an R word. It's like she's intellectually disabled, dude. Like, can you guys chill the fuck out? Does no one have a soul anymore? Does anyone have a heart? Does anybody? Does anybody like? Does anyone have a soul? Anybody? The Jordan situation was the minor that Lio was in contact with. I think that Jordan was like 13 or 14 when they first started talking to Lio, and Jordan was being sexually abused by their stepdad, and Lio Convoy basically kept close company with Jordan. One of the hypothesized ways to help Jordan was to have Jordan record the sexual assault, and basically kept in contact with Jordan, used Jordan as live bait for another predator that was in the community, and then went on to move Jordan into his house with him after Jordan turned of legal age, and pretty much allowed Jordan to be groomed by a pedophile that was in his community named Vita. So,
sound familiar?
No,
I feel like you repeated that to me verbatim. That's how I heard about it.
I don't think so. I think like the soft justification at the time was like it was like Rosa was like annoying people about Star Wars stuff, but I can't understand why it would be. I think there's like there was something about Rosa still going around being a spurg, but I don't think that was a Lio justification. I think that was just a comment about Rosa like in like years later.
Okay,
but I think
which ones were you referring to when you just agreed that he gave soft justifications behind the scenes?
So there was a soft justification of the round over whether Rosa had actually any power as a mod, and whether she was in some way responsible. And I think there was something to do with like Rosa's like culpability or like understanding, the level of understanding.
It's not even the level of It's not even the level of understanding. Rosa didn't even have the ability to kick this person out of the server. So if it was brought to Rosa's attention that this person was a quote unquote bad person, and this person shouldn't be in this community, Rosa didn't even have the ability to kick that person out of the community in the first place. So it was literally getting mad at nothing. And even then, like, I mean, there are criticisms if it's brought to somebody's attention that there's somebody who's quote unquote bad in their spaces and somebody that deserves to be kicked out, and then they don't do anything with it. Sure, that's a criticism to have. I don't disagree with that at all. But Rosa literally couldn't do anything about it, first of all. And second of all, Rosa was very severely impacted by brain damage and an intellectual disability. Like, there isn't really an appropriate way to, like, scream at someone like this. You know what I mean?
Understanding. But it's been a while since I've seen any of these. So you're asking me about stuff that I watched last year, right?
The fact that he would even think that something like that is worth debating, like, based off his own conversations with her, shows me this guy's like totally like unable to grasp the situation. Like, just talking to her, you could tell even if she did have mod powers. What do groomers do? They manipulate, they lie. This is somebody with intellect probably comparable to that of a child. To think that this person like must.
Well, and that's a really good point as well, is that if Rosa is severely intellectually impacted, then why would it not make sense for them to be very easily manipulated? And so if somebody is this bad person in the Discord server, like my contention here is like Rosa shouldn't have been given any kind of power at all. But let's just pretend, that this is like a fine idea and there's nothing wrong here. Why are we assuming that Rosa would not just as equally get manipulated by the person that is trying to save face and stay in the server, right? That's a good point. That's a good point.
To decipher all of this and like realize what was going on despite like this groomer like trying to friend them.
Okay, because again, I don't necessarily disagree with you. I think my issue comes in at what point, at what point do you turn around and go, well, someone's like irredeemable or like hasn't learned their lesson? Because aren't there multiple cases where we've looked at dramas where people go like, okay, well,
it's when they actually show like good faith and change in behavior, right? If you call somebody out for acting like a shithead and then they continue to act like a shithead, but just in a slightly different flavor of shithead, I would say like, no, that person hasn't changed. We're still, recording calls. We're still like harassing people in VCs. We're still being like a totally fucking deranged and unhinged freak about intra-community discourse that nobody fucking cares about. We're pulling people into like 100 people plus Thunderdome fucking calls just to bully the shit out of them for no fucking reason. It's like, it's the same shit. It's just in a different font, right? We're doing the exact same thing. It's just in a different font. And that's the problem. So like, if you wanted to see, so let's engage in a little bit of good faith together, you guys. Let's be good faith about this, okay? What behavior would we need to see to determine that Lio Convoy has changed? What behavior would we need to see? I would want to see Lio Convoy like actually engaging with criticisms without crashing the fuck out and telling everybody to kill themselves. Part of that redemption is being able to essentially employ radical accountability and say, yeah, I did do that. It was fucked up. And then you're done, right? Like somebody says, hey, do you remember the Rosa cult? Yeah, I do. That was actually probably one of my worst moments. It was really fucked up and I don't have an excuse for it. And that was really terrible. And I wish I could go back and change it, but I can't. And so, yeah, I did do that and I'm very sorry. There you go. Boom. Another thing that I would want to see, I would want to see some kind of engagement.
Malcolm has all the IQ of a baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
Oh, thank you very much. Everybody witness, please. I would want to see like a non-reactive and non-defensive kind of response to criticism. So, for example, obviously there are going to be people that will hate you to the ends of the earth. They're never going to let it go. If somebody comes to you with valid criticism, there's no reason for you not to engage with it earnestly if you are truly sorry. Obviously, there's going to be some people that are just like shitposting or just trying to piss you off or just trying to upset you, never going to let it go, whatever the fuck. Not being able to identify that, you shouldn't be on the internet if you can't identify the two separate things here. But you should be able to say like, okay, so-and-so said this thing that I did was fucked up. It was, so I'm going to engage with it versus this person just trying to like twist my arm or whatever the fuck, get one up on me. You should be able to tell the difference. You should be able to engage with one in earnest, non-defensively, and you should be able to actually like take accountability for actions without sidestepping, without criticism. And lastly, you want to see like a tangible change in behavior. We have done the bare minimum. We have literally scraped by the limbo bar that's, 13 feet in the fucking air because our gut is hanging over our pants at an impressive length, right? We're just scraping by doing the bare minimum where it's like if somebody truly wants to change, I'm not saying you have to 180 your behavior, but there should be active steps in avoiding the behavior that led you to these incidents in the first place. So if I get called out and everybody's like, Malcolm, every time that you get mad at somebody, you throw them in a Discord call and you scream at them with like hundreds of spectators for content, and that's really fucked up. And I say, you know what, you're right. If I keep doing that, let's just say that I pick better targets. I'm still doing the same thing, but maybe I'm being more tactful in the way that I choose the people that I attack in that way. That's a way for me to kind of skirt accountability. Like, yeah, I'm changed, but I'm not really changing any of my behavior. I'm just being smarter about it, so people are caring about it less. It's very manipulative and it's very intentional in my opinion, because it's a really easy way to feign like you are taking accountability and you're changing. But anytime that there's any serious heat brought to you, somebody who's truly repentant can take the heat because you are aware and you accept that you did something wrong. It doesn't become like a weasel fest of like, oh my God, how can I get the fuck out of this? How can I defer and shift and deflect in every possible way? It's just, you just eat it. Every time somebody brings it up to you, you just eat it. That was something that I did and it was really stupid. You just eat it every single fucking time if you are actually sorry about it, right?
You've changed your action enough. Because if Lio was still going after Rosa, I'd agree with you. But if Lio was just like, I don't know, saying something offhand, I'd need like specific examples to hand. And like, I mean, almost with the way the Rosa cool stuff has been brought up again, maybe it's worth another conversation about that. I don't know.
I'd love to have a conversation with him about that.
Yeah, I mean,
he totally avoids conversations about that.
Yes, he does.
To talk about it in a confrontational environment.
True.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not his keeper.
So no, he will talk about it in controversial or confrontational environments, but it has to be his controversial environment. He has to have control over it. And second of all, I said this before and I'll continue to say it. If Beckett doesn't want to be his keeper, then don't. Like, you are actively choosing to go on everybody's streams and answer for him when he's a big boy. He's an extra large, XXXXXXXXX extra large boy. He can get on stream and defend himself. The willingness to jump in front of the bullet, it kind of makes you, you're self-selecting yourself into that position. You're like volunteering as tribute, basically. Because if for example, if anybody has issues with Sai, I'm like, go fucking talk to Sai about it. Why the fuck are you talking to me about it? I don't know why the fuck you're talking to me about it. Like, go over there. I am not Sai's keeper. I'm not, Sai's BFFL. Like, go, if you have issues with Sai, you don't have to hear it from me. Go talk to Sai. She'll talk to you about it, whatever the fuck. But if I was constantly, every time somebody said something about Sai, I was like, oh yeah, well, Sai, da 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 da. It's like, well, obviously I'm self-appointing myself the keeper the goalkeeper, you know, the puppy sitter of Psy, and you just can't put yourself in that situation. And if you don't like that criticism, then stop doing it. That's like, frankly, that's frankly what the issue is that, again, we're here on Aiden's stream defending Lio. When Lio has the capability to come on stream and defend himself for whatever reason he won't, because he's a giant fucking fat pussy. You put yourself in that situation. You have appointed yourself the keeper. You have appointed yourself that. So
I can't like force him to come and talk to you.
Why?
I can once again suggest that he does.
Do you not think like
I'm
are you willing? Are you,
I'm more than happy to do that.
yeah? Are you comfortable saying he's like a coward though if he doesn't, like a total like pussy coward?
yes, he is.
Can you say that? At least?
Beckett, come on. This is an easy
The only
dub.
reason I wouldn't.
Oh
is
my god.
because, like Lio generally is pretty confrontational. My impression
oh,
has
really?
been
yes,
that
he is when he thinks he has
Well,
power.
yes, he is.
When he thinks
Yes,
he has power.
yes,
Or when he
he is.
thinks
my
he's
impression.
retarded. It's pathetic.
Hold on. Can I
Yeah,
finish
sorry,
this?
just to get that in there.
My impression has been he's tried to take a step back from it because that was the old bad behavior. So I don't want to just call it cowardice. I would say I'd
is
say this.
cowardice.
If Lio won't even talk to
He's
you,
not taking a step back because he continues to throw shots from the sidelines, but he's too scared to get in the ring. He's just like backseat driving, and he knows that he can because he's passenger princess whenever Becky is driving. Whenever he's driving the street sweeper, he's like beep beep beep, and Lio's just like sitting there like eating his chicken fries. He's like, oh, this is beautiful. Like, yeah, he is a pussy because he has so much fucking shit to talk about everybody. He has so much to say. He has so much on the mind. He's got a lot to say. Okay, he never shuts the fuck up. We're very aware of this. But he won't. He just takes like snide comments on the side or says them in servers where he thinks that nobody is going to see it or whatever the fuck. And even if people do see it, he doesn't care, but he's too much of a fucking pussy to talk to anybody. Yes, he is a pussy. He is a pussy. He's such a fat pussy, he's basically Beckett's mom.
off the record or off stream, yeah, I'd say that was maybe a little bit cowardly. Sure. I think he probably should talk to you. I think it's reasonable to have these questions and like hear them from like the source. Sure.
Did he tell you why he wouldn't talk to me?
Because he's a pussy.
No, I don't think we've ever really discussed you.
You did. You sent me a DM that Lio sent you saying he wouldn't talk to me.
When did let me search my DMs with him.
Yeah, this was on April 15th at 2:30 Pacific time, which would have been what? Like 11:30 your time?
We got receipts. Yes, read them.
If I pretend to be like a man with like an intellectual disability, then
I'm just
sure
reading.
I'll talk
I'm
to
reading.
people from it.
Okay.
Aiden is fucking yes, bitch. Yes, bitch. Oh my god, I love male Brittany Simon. Yeah, dude. If you pretend that you're severely intellectually disabled, Lio will talk to you. If you can, if you have like, you know, never mind. What Aiden said. What Aiden said.
Okay. Maybe. To be fair, there's not much pretending for you.
Good one,
Listen, it's like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay, give me a break.
I'm being light. I'm being soft.
Yeah, I think the only thing that he wasn't going to cover commentary anymore. What the fuck's this?
Do not put me in there with you, Sai. Beckett does respond to my DMs. It must be a woman thing.
Something about thanking you for the Gorilla Grodd meme.
Yeah. He's thanking me for some
And that's like
joke about a shitter.
Yeah, and that's literally it. Like the
Let
next
me
time.
guess,
So
he's like,
yeah,
"Hey,
that's
something?"
April the 15th. That's like April the 15th, and the next time I speak to Lio is April the 19th. So we literally just don't discuss you.
Yeah, but he did say in the course of that conversation on the 15th that he wouldn't talk to me.
Yeah,
so
but it's like one message, bro.
Yeah, okay. Well, I just didn't know
It's
if
just
I didn't know if he went on.
Yeah, no, that's
So
fine.
elaborate.
That's
You
fine.
pushed him on that at all? Apparently you didn't.
I didn't push him, but like, yeah, I can do. I can go back to him more and be like, hey, can we say? Okay, how about this? Would you be down for an off stream conversation? With him?
Nope. Nope. Because he's gonna record it anyway. Nope. If you want to act a fool, you can act a fool in public. If you need to take accountability and demonstrate to everybody that your behavior has changed, if you acted a fool in public, you need to make reconciliation in public. Like, that is such fucking coward pussy shit, dude. That is so fucking beta bitch behavior. Okay? You have publicly made a fool of yourself several times. All of your crimes have been committed publicly in the court of public opinion. You need to atone for your sins in the court of public opinion. That is so fucking gay. You know what I would do if I was Aiden? I would fucking record that shit and throw it up. That's what I would do. I'd be like, two can play this fucking game, dude. If you want to be a fat fucking weasel, I can be a fat fucking weasel way better than you can. I just got to get my fat suit into the dry cleaners. I got to pick it up. But trust me, I'm a better fucking fat weasel. Okay, I'm better at it. I can play the game better.
Like recorded or something.
Oh,
like
recorded?
something like that. I
Sure.
don't know whether that would help.
Recorded?
But
Sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. I don't know whether that would make any difference, but I'll float it. Sure.
Yeah, I don't like to agree that much to off-stream conversations because if I give someone the majority of my pushback off-stream, it's not able to be like reviewed and scrutinized by the public to see inconsistencies. And if I was to then
Exactly, because he's a fucking pussy, he's a liar, and he's a fucking little butthole. True.
another conversation on stream, they would already come in with an awareness of what kind of questions I would ask.
Well, that's
them.
why I'd say like it recorded. Like that's pretty
Yeah,
standard,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I would gladly
It's
do.
not standard. It's
Malcolm
not.
has all the IQ of a baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
Peuple bo always van privat a calls just van haver no a vara dating they can control the conversation.
This is very true. Everybody witness, please. And that's why you just don't do like private off-stream calls with people. It's like the thing is like people that want control of the situation, the only way that you win in that is to deprive the control. That's the only way to do it. Okay, there's no content that's worth it. It's not. You just don't give people the control in that situation. If I can TBT for all of my Twitch poll people, when it was Wick and Queeman were arguing about progressive victory money, and Queeman didn't turn his camera on, and Wick was like, "I'm only going to talk to you if you turn your camera on." And it's like, that's a power play. You don't play power games with people like this because that's what they want. You know, take a step towards me. We'll meet in the middle, says the dishonest man. You take a step forward. He takes a step back. Take a step towards me. We'll meet in the middle, says the dishonest man. It's not worth it. I would just be like, eat shit. We can talk in public or we can not talk at all. Those are the options right here. Like, it's just so fucking embarrassing, dude.
Like this isn't a sort your issues with Lio call out. This is an Lio. You've got questions. Lio should answer them. Cool. So
yes,
that would obviously be
that's what I'm looking for here.
Yeah.
Does he still engage in like confrontations with people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. In his Discord server, he does absolutely.
So the Doodle Tone stuff that happened, like the Cloud Palace stuff, he was pretty involved in, but that was mostly led by someone named Chuli.
He confronted Doodle Tones.
Well, to be fair, even in that call, not massively, and that's only because he's the only person who Doodle Tones would even talk to. Like Doodle Tones, like cut contact with basically everyone else. So the only way to get Doodle Tones to talk, and because there was like a lot of like lingering information. What was discovered about Doodle Tones' server was like pretty fucking wild. They basically been like running a hate server for like years. So there was like a lot of questions.
Like
that was mostly Chuli.
Yeah, like the Senate, true.
Different, but
oh my
kind
god,
of worse. It was basically a group of about 20 to 30 people that were quite closely knit who were all just covering for each other while basically running rumor mills. A lot of the stuff that sort of like seems to have happened with Senate and particular creators like Heaton and Nezzy, of them driving narratives against people, it seems to have originated by like within Cloud Palace, which was like kind of very gay opsy at points. But basically Lio was never allowed into it, and the reason was because they were pulling shenanigans.
I almost said a bad word.
They had a whole different server just to get him in to have screaming calls at people. And there's like a series of stuff called the Cloak and Dagger calls, where basically, literally in these calls, they're using Lio as a threat to people. It's like, well, you can talk to us, or we'll get Lio involved.
Yeah,
like, they're literally just weaponizing him.
Yeah, well, I know that because everyone, like the thing about
again, not to excuse Lio for anyone. I'm just telling you how the fucking community works.
Well, it's only in the ACC that a person like Lio Convoy, like a 40-year-old, by all like normal standards, like a 40-year-old loser, right? Probably hasn't like achieved much in his real life. His wife probably makes him sleep on the couch. Probably filed for divorce at this point.
Dude, come on. He doesn't fit on the couch. He has to sleep in the yard. Are you kidding me, Aiden? Be so fucking real. That he would not fit on a couch, dude. Come on. He's got to sleep on like a sheet on the fucking floor. Be so real.
Just like a very unremarkable, unintelligent individual. It's only in the ACC that somebody like that could be considered scary and impressive, right? And he boosts himself up.
Amen. I take back what I said about Aiden. I take back my rude comment about him looking like the male Brittany Simon. I take it back. He actually looks like Da Vinci's painting of the Mona Lisa. My bad. I did not realize what we were cooking with. I rescind my criticism. I'm very sorry. Wow. It's like we're mind melting. This is crazy.
What I like about debating is, yes, I do have debates sometimes with morons, like the lowest of the low, who probably can't hold their own at debate. Most of the time, that's them calling in to talk to me, like Duckbringer yesterday. But I also take on people that I know I'm gonna have a hard time beating in a debate. I've debated Queeman 3 times, etc., etc. And what Lio does is, Lio will engage in confrontations with people who are so moronic, they can't stand up for themselves, and he thinks it's like some kind of own. So I think it's like quite pathetic that he's postured in this way, but like won't engage in like any conversation with somebody who can like hold their own in one of these conversations and debate him.
He's cooking. Cook it up.
Yeah, I mean, again,
speechless.
I don't necessarily disagree with you. I mean, the ACC, I don't disagree there. The reason Lio was useful to the ACC and was utilized within the ACC was because these people are like fucking terrified of conflict and need like a bludgeon to go after people they don't like.
And ironically, he's also terrified of conflict unless it's one that he can win. It's like I said, it's like the equivalent of picking on like a blind kid. It's like, I can definitely beat this guy in a fist fight. It's like, yeah, he's fucking blind. I bet you could beat him in a fist fight, bro. I bet you could. I can fight anyone in this bar. I'm gonna fight that guy that has no arms. Let's go. And everybody's like, wow, you're very tough and very cool. Yeah, that's who you're gonna fight. You can pick anyone in the bar to start shit with. It's the guy with no arms and no legs and paper skin. Okay, yeah, very cool. And glass bones.
Even the people like, and this is like part of my issue now when I hear like the kind of Lio conversations at the moment. I know some of the people who are running these narratives and running to creators with them are ex-Senate members who are just upset because they got shouted at once, or they've got their own little petty grudges.
Well,
It's like
just to be clear, all those people can die as well. I don't really care about them.
Okay.
But I just want to address them real quick. Just one of your mods, they're saying, you wonder why Lio won't speak to it? Because I'm being mean to him, right? The problem is, Lio's built his career off of confronting people and being mean and going for ad hominem. So the fact that this fucking guy, there's like an excuse that he won't talk to me because I'm like saying mean things about him or whatever. It's like totally pathetic.
Yes, cook him, flambe him. Flambe. Fucking grill his ass up, dude. Put him, put him on the little rotating stick. Stick an apple in his mouth. Cook his ass, dude. Yes, crank that shit. Yes. He is like, oh, I'm Lio Convoy, and I'm not scared of fucking, I hunt pedophiles. And it's like, dude will literally shit his pants if somebody is even remotely mean to him that has, like ears, basically. It's insane. It's insane. I don't know how you can like present yourself as somebody who's very combative, like not afraid of confrontation, like I'm the guy that puts everybody in their fucking place in a kitten puddle or whatever the fuck. And then somebody is like, okay, do you want to fucking talk about this? And he's like, kill yourself. It's like, you're such a fucking pussy, dude. You're such a fucking pussy.
It's the fucking cowardly lion, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. Again.
Oh my god.
If that was the reason, like I don't want to engage with Aiden because he says mean things about me. Like if he came back to me and was like, "That's the
Malcolm
rationale."
has all the IQ
I'd
of
be
a
like that.
baked potato, so
True.
no, I don't think so.
True.
Beckett can cook causes British.
True. Everybody witness. This is a strong message, and I completely agree with this. These bitches colonized like the whole fucking world, and they didn't take home a single spice. Incredible. Oh my god, we're gonna have blood pudding, whatever the fuck that is. You guys are disgusting.
That's a cowardly thing to say. Obviously, I just agree with
I
you.
was just addressing someone who's providing an out for
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I to this, I can't really figure out what like. Oh, okay, I have an example for you. If I got Bad Empanada tomorrow to agree to like stop doxing people, would everyone just like be fine with me working with them?
No.
No, but I think
No, but it's different, you guys, because Lio's fat and technically disabled.
also a difference there with like, okay, let's say like there's a significant thing that happens that like causes a significant shift with Bad Empanada. And what's a good way to put this? And like
What is
over
the
time, you're
significant
watching
shift?
that change happens and somebody comes to you and goes, well, Bad Empanada used to do this. And you're like, yeah, that's true. But he's not doing those things anymore. And he
Hello?
Oh my god. Lio got him.
Hello?
He
He's
yoinked
like-
him back into the crate.
Hey,
Are you there?
hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah. Okay. I'd argue that the shit that Empanada's done is significantly worse than the stuff that than Lio has done. You're talking about like a significant.
When has Bad Empanada literally quote unquote orbited a minor until their age of the majority and then moved them into their fucking house? When has Bad Empanada called a fucking 15-year-old school and said, this kid's probably gonna shoot that shit up? What are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about, dude? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like higher level of like life ruination, but like
Accusing a 15-year-old of being a school shooter and calling their fucking school is not on the same level of life ruination? Dude, say psych. Say you're kidding me. Lio has probably gotten more people raped than Bad Empanada has. Are you kidding me? Oh my god.
Malcolm has all the IQ of a baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
Beckett won this debat according to bombs.
Oh, thank you very much, everybody. Witness. Jesus Christ. Dude, that huge earthquake that was in Russia, that was Lio Convoy falling off of the couch after his wife kicked him over to the couch to sleep. She was like, you're spending too much time with your Discord whores. It's time for you to go sleep on the bad kitten couch. And he rolled off the couch and fell, and that's actually what that earthquake was.
don't. It's a good way to put this.
To be clear, Lio did try to report a kid as a potential like school shooter, threat to his.
Thank you. Oh my god. I'm in love with Aiden.
Malcolm has all the IQ of a baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
The kitten
Dei
caboodle.
pelikula would bedikitan kabol.
Oh my god. Thank you, everybody. What is? I'm leaving my wife for Aiden Underground. You heard it here first.
Knowing that full well that he was.
Yeah, the Jack stuff.
Yeah, knowing full well that he was.
Sure.
I think the levels of life for nation are totally comparable. Or
Yes.
attempted life for nation. Are
They're
totally
worse.
Yeah, like I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you on the Jack stuff. I don't think anyone would.
Okay, then why would you say like Bad Empanada is way more dangerous than fucking Lio Convoy when you're like, actually, yeah, that is like pretty significant life ruination. What the fuck is happening?
Well, yeah, but just
Right.
yes, sure, but that it shows even though it's an individual situation, it attests to a greater aspect of his character, or what you claim it once was, and he's now changed from, that would be comparable to that of Bad Empanada. So my question would be, why? In like,
Running
I
back
think
around.
there's Well, I think there's also like a separate element there of like what a community is like. So if you've got somebody who like, let's take like
what is Lio Convoy's community like? It's full of like fucking degens who sit around talking about who jerks off to what. I mean, like, I don't know about you guys. I would much rather be in a community of people who are like, we need to seize the means of production and overthrow the proletariat or the capitalistic bourgeois power of the state or whatever. I'd rather be in a group chat like that than everybody being like, did you see this sexy dog that I drew, guys? You see the big titty dog that I drew? It's my OC fucking Blue from Blue's Clues. Do you guys like it? I would much rather be in the former. Like I would take that 27 fucking million years out of the is it really even a competition? Is it really even a competition? All these people just sit around and talk about gooning in fucking cartoons in horrible. Who's grooming who? Who's Discord raping who? I don't want to be in that community. Fuck.
like lyrics with the way lyrics was in commentary, for example, like which was pretty normalized for how lyrics talked about women or talked about drama or talked about any of these things. And now he's over in like a new career in the music kind of sector. Like, would it be fair to say that the way lyrics acted as part of commentary was just a normalized part of the community he was in?
Okay, this is bullshit. This is so stupid. Who cares if people that live in countries that practice Sharia law, who cares if they marry 12-year-olds? It's like the community that they come from. Can you not have like an objective standard of what you think is appropriate and what isn't appropriate? Like, okay, I understand that in the art commentary community, it's totally fucking normal to like draw pictures of you fucking Pokemon. Okay, I understand that that's normal. I got it. Cool, whatever, fantastic. I can still look at that and be like, okay, it's normal in that community, but it's still freak shit because it is. Like, can we not have a moral judgment of other people's behavior regardless of what community that they come from? I think that it's vastly inappropriate that there are certain cultures that practice female genital mutilation. But can you understand that that's their... Yes, I get it. I can still condemn it. I can still condemn it. I can still say, that's fucked. Don't do that. That's crazy, girl. Don't do that shit. Like, hello? Can I not have a condemnation for behavior just because I come from a different community? Am I not allowed to say that? My bad. To the gallows with me. Jesus Christ.
Sure, but it doesn't make him like any less, responsible or accountable. Well, I don't know where you're going with this.
Well, my point is, generally speaking, it's like Lio doesn't exist in a vacuum. He exists within like the fucking old, like atop the back.
And the thing is that your morals should override that, right? If you're pretending to be this moral crusader of the raped, the molested, the tortured, the groomed, whatever the fuck, your morals should override whatever community you happen to inhabit. If I, was transported suddenly and I awoke in a country that practices Sharia law, I wouldn't suddenly be like, oh, actually, you know what, guys, it's totally cool to throw, gay people off of a building, and the people should be able to get married at 12 or whatever. Like, somebody who is principled maintains their values regardless of circumstance or environment. So no, actually, I'm going to say no.
Barrel.
Do you think Bad Empanada exists like in a vacuum?
This is a 5-hour
No, I don't.
VOD.
I think Bad Empanada exists.
How does Bad Empanada not exist in a vacuum where he's somebody who literally fled the country? He lives in fucking Venezuela. He's in all these tanky groups and shit where they all do this, very radical online kind of dirtbag left shit. Like, that is the environment that is. No, that is the culture in those environments. Dirtbag left. That's like an entire community. They all have different rules, how they play the game, how they attack political opponents. Like, yeah, I would say just as much that that's normal in those communities as much as it's normal for in Lio Convoy's community that everybody happens to be a fucking pedophile. I would say, what?
This out. Like,
So
Bad Empanada, what Bad Empanada does would be considered bad by his own side, if they were honest about it.
So would Lio! Dude, Lio Convoy would literally like be writhing on the floor if somebody that he did not like doxed a child, told somebody to record their sexual assault to make CP, let somebody basically grow up underneath their wing online and then move them in when they turned 18. Like, if somebody found themselves in the company of pedophiles over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, Lio Convoy would fucking implode at the opportunity to make a fucking toy-making YouTube video about this. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What? He fails to meet his own standard. What are you talking about? This is a 5-hour VOD, you guys. We're going to be here for a while.
No one else on like Bad Empanada's side, like Hassan, Denims, whoever, is not doing what Bad Empanada is. But what Lio was doing was part of a wider.
Wait. Would it be considered bad by his own side?
Yes.
If somebody else like bad empanada is kind of an exception to the rule, but like there are plenty of people who are like iffy about bad empanada within like it's not normal within leftist politics to be doing what bad empanada
Bad
is doing,
Empanada's-
is it?
It's normal in the dirtbag left space. Yes, it is. That's what all these fucking people do. What was the other one? Bay Area communist 415, whatever the fuck that guy's name was. That guy did the same thing. Suki's mom. Who are some of the other people off the top of my head? I can't fucking think of anybody. Who is that other guy that was from South Korea who's a rapper? What the fuck is that guy's name? There's a guy that's like from South Korea. He does rap videos. He's a big simp for the Democratic People's Republic of North Korea. What the fuck is that guy's name? There's another one that's a big DPRK account. It's like Natalie or something. Yes, in the dirtbag left, absolutely this is a culture. Absolutely, this is a culture. Up until that, like, Bay Area 415 communist whatever guy got doxxed, people, yes, they do absolutely engage in these tactics. 100% they do. 100% they do. Deep in the dirtbag left, yes, they do. Yes, they do. It's what is that guy's name? It's Comrade something. Comrade. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it. It's the Asian guy. He's Korean, I think, and he raps. I cannot. I'm not gonna be able to find this guy. It's gonna drive me nuts. Somebody knows who I'm talking about. It's an Asian guy, and he raps, and he loves North Korea. I can't think of that guy's name to save my fucking life. That's one of those people.
Bad Empanada.
Oh yeah, Dasha's another one. Dasha's another one. True.
Way farther left than your average self-proclaimed leftist. He's more.
Oh, and then everybody from the fucking podcast that Sophie from Mars was on. What was that called? Red. Whatever. It was DJ Mule, Kira Chats, Sophie from Mars, and there was somebody else. That podcast, all those people, like dirtbag left people, absolutely do engage. That is a culture for those communities in the dirtbag left. That is 100% true. And Beckett should know this. Beckett is old Twitch poll. Beckett should absolutely know this. This is old Twitch poll shit. Who's the other one? There's another Twitter. I can't remember these fucking people's names. It's the Gator communist guy. That guy is also the same way. It's just their communities. Fuck.
He's more tanky adjacent, right? Or you'd agree with that, right? He's more like a tanky.
Sure, but I also don't think that like can you think I do not think that you would have like that. The reason Bad Empanada acts the way he does is because like in the country he's in, he can get away from it. Get away with it.
No, it's because it's culturally relevant to the political sphere that he inhabits, which is the dirtbag left. This is exactly how all these people behave.
But like, I like at a base level here, it's just like I don't like this whole. There's no level of redemption. There's no like anybody who's.
No one said that.
Let's get back. Sorry, I just feel like we're shifting away here. I just don't understand what maybe like in the actions themselves you could always find differences, but in terms of like their actions and how they reflect on their overall moral character, I think in both cases it would just be comparable. So I don't understand why if Bad Empanada like said I'm gonna stop doing this, took a month off, came back and didn't do it again, why there would be some exception to if I just like started working with him.
Well, hold on. Because it wasn't just like I'm going to take a month off. It was Lio's entire community around him burnt. All the like friendship relationships he had with burnt. His reputation.
That's a fucking lie. All the same people, all the core players are still there, except for the select few that were actually pedophiles, and Lio Convoy just failed to notice it or whatever. The core group is still there. The core group is still there, bro.
Was burnt to the ground. He went and got therapy and medicated and worked to try and change himself.
Okay, got it. So if Bad Empanada says I'm gonna go get therapy, and then he stops talking to all the other people that were engaged in doxing and came back, you'd be okay with me working with him?
I don't know. Like with Bad Empanada,
Oh
also
my
like we're
God.
talking about like the freshness and immediacy. At the time the stuff is happening with Lio, you've got a significant period of time. Like the Rosa call is like 2 years ago.
So how long?
Right?
How long in between the Rosa call and how long in between Lio leaving did it take for him to come back?
Like a week.
Not even
that.
I mean, he didn't leave.
Yeah,
but from the time
exactly.
that he got like and cut those connections, I think it was a significant.
Better
period.
question. How long until after the Rosa call did you start working with him?
I mean, after the Rosa call, probably about a year and a half.
Year and a half.
When he's already like, and even with the Rosa call stuff, the Rosa call stuff was like generally pushed to the side because people realized it was bad and they tried to make changes after it anyway.
Again, I wish that Aiden knew more about Jordan, because that would be the grill point, right? The grill point would be Jordan, because I don't think that there is a timetable where I think that that's appropriate, because at the time Lio was like 35, right? 35-ish. A 35-year-old knows way fucking better than to keep close company and a close relationship with an abused minor that he met online and tried to help get out of being sexually assaulted, but was too fucking stupid to help this kid in any meaningful way, allowed them to get groomed multiple times under his quote-unquote care, and then use that person as live pedophile bait for another fucking sick YouTube video expose, and then he moved that person into his house. I don't care how much time has passed. At the age of 35, you know better than to behave like that around minors. There is actually no reason at all that minors should ever even be contacting somebody the age of 35 on the fucking internet unless it's like BetterHelp or some shit like that. But like there is no excuse for that behavior, period. And that is something that he has never taken accountability for and something that no one pushes him on. That is what makes him a predator. That is what makes him a groomer. And that is what makes him dangerous to the people that he tries to help, is because he makes literally every situation that he touches worse by virtue of his own ego getting in the way of the well-being of the people that he's trying to help. That is the number one thing that everybody seems to conveniently be missing, because that is under no circumstances acceptable. And there is no amount of time that I would ever feel comfortable allowing somebody like that back into any kind of space I had control over after they behaved that way. That's inappropriate. And you know better at that age. Unless Lio Convoy wants to come out and say that, you know, he got kicked in the head by a horse too and make up some bullshit about that. Okay, sure. We'll cross that bridge if we ever fucking get there. But like void of like a very severe, like traumatic head injury, there is no circumstance where that is acceptable behavior that allows for somebody to be welcomed back into your spaces. Absolutely the fuck not.
So
because again, it's like, it's one of those things. If it's not like the Rosa call becomes fine, it's like, at what point do you like cut ties with people like completely and just go, nah, I'll never interact with that person? Because like also one of the arguments with Lio was Lio, like people wanted to talk to Lio. I talked to Lio. I aired those grievances. We had those conversations, and I don't know. I just don't endlessly fucking hate people. If he's not like going after people and doxing people, I don't fucking care. I don't know whether Bad Empanada has.
I mean, but he did.
Some differences because of the political connotations, and because also like Bad Empanada has tried to like get terrorist organizations set on people like Loner Box. So I don't know whether there are like differences there, but I'm not asking anyone else to be like friendly with Lio. I'm not asking anyone else to be like understanding of that, and at the same time I'm not sat here being like none of that stuff mattered. Like the Jax call didn't matter.
Okay,
Anytime anyone's brought that up to me, I've been like, yeah, that was incredibly fucked up.
Listen, I give
even
you,
Jax, like even when Jax has said that he doesn't care about it, I've still said I care.
look, and
Right?
I give you credit for not trying to, as far as I know, make other people start talking to them, whatever. But for you, like, is there anything someone could do where you'd say like, yeah, I won't be working with this person in any capacity ever, regardless of if they like get better help or whatever the fuck? Like, is there anything where you would say, yeah, we're just done here? There's nothing for us here, regardless of what they do. After the fact?
Yeah, like grooming, pedophilia, lolicon, rape, physically harming somebody.
So anything.
I think there's also like a cutoff point with somebody. Like if Lio did this stuff again, if they're like if there was like a relapse and then Lio goes down again, like obviously like it's a one chance thing.
Okay, what if Lio got a child in a call and was like screaming at them for 4 hours under the threat that they would contact their parents in that call, and they were like a little kid? Would that be
Well, what
too
are we
much for
talking
you?
about as a little kid here?
I'd say 12, 13.
Yeah, that's like a little kid.
Potentially.
Oh my god.
But it's also like potentially. I need more context to what we're talking about here, right?
Let's say exactly what happened with the Rosa situation, except Rosa's like 12 or 13. Would that be like end of the line for you?
You really have to think about that.
The reason I'm pausing is because I'm trying.
A 40-year-old man screaming at like a 12-year-old. We got to think about that one. For real, bro. For real, bro.
To give it like due consideration. I think that if a 13-year-old was dragged, okay, so here's like my fucking hesitation here. Do you know like the mushy stuff? Like there was
Nope.
There's a creator called Mushy, and he was like talking about somebody else who'd like had like a Skype call with him when he was like a 13-year-old like furry spurg, and he'd entered this call and got trolled by somebody who was like 20.
I'm gonna say,
And I'm like,
yeah.
why the fuck are you talking about that? That's gay. So like there are like contextual things. But if it's like, yeah, if Lio did something where it was like did some gay accountability call where he personally had hunted down like a 13-year-old to get them into some like weird call, yeah.
So okay, but just to be clear, without referencing any
It doesn't matter. Like, let's just pretend for a second that you discover there's a bunch of kittens in my fucking general chat right now, and everybody's picking on one person, and it comes to my attention that this person is like 13 years old. Why would you join in on the dog pile? Why would you not kick them out? Why would you not kick out the people that are attacking this like literal child? I don't get it.
Malcolm has all the IQ of a baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
May ba di kid hat bad vibes?
True. I didn't even consider. The kid might have had bad vibes. Great point. Thank you. Everybody witness. I didn't even consider. Wow.
Just a quick yes or no, without referencing any other like outside dramas that you're gonna know about that I don't, because I don't artistically follow all this shit. In regards to the Lio stuff, if the Rosa situation occurred exactly as it did, except Rosa's 12 or 13, that would be like you totally like not stop talking to him. There'd be no chance for redemption.
Yeah, if the like entire Rosa situation played out the way it did with like a 13-year-old, yeah, sure.
Why?
Because like with the like Rosa stuff, there's sort of the argument there that was made that she's an adult, and that's why there's like 9 hours of this fucking stuff. But if you've got somebody who's actively a kid, that person should just be removed from the community.
Why?
Too.
Well, yeah, but if they have diminished capacity, like if somebody has diminished capacity and they can't really even comprehend what the fuck is going on, like that's pretty inappropriate. No, that's pretty inappropriate. No, like does no one understand what an intellectual disability is? Does nobody know what that means? Anybody?
Like protect them. Well, because obviously when you've got because Lio's own arguments with contacting people's parents was to protect the kid. It's like
I'm
they
asking,
shouldn't be in these
your
environments.
arguments. Why would why should we get the kid out? What is the thing?
Well,
that
because
makes
like
kids...
generally speaking, when we're talking about people who are under 18, I'm fairly fucking iffy. I kind of questionable as to why anybody's having these long conversations. I've said it again, because like dealing with minors is a separate issue.
But why?
Because they're minors, Aiden.
But what about them?
Like because they're susceptible to influence. They're easily manipulated. They have poor boundaries, poor social understandings. They're really susceptible to like being, coerced into doing shit because they see somebody who's significantly older than them. They trust people that they shouldn't trust. There's like a lot of risks involved. But every single one of those risks also applies to somebody who is highly impacted and intellectually disabled, because somebody who is, severely impacted in that way is just as susceptible to, being coerced or manipulated as somebody who's a child. They're just as susceptible to having poor boundaries because they are, socially maladjusted because they just don't have those social skills or the social wherewithal to understand when somebody is manipulating them. Maybe they miss the social cues. Like the reason that it's bad or the reason that it's dangerous to keep, minors in a community that's full of adults is because people take advantage of those who don't know better. And so you would say that a child that has like no experience, their brains aren't fully developed or whatever the fuck, they're easy to take advantage of in the same way that somebody who's intellectually disabled and has diminished capacity is also easy to take advantage of because they don't know better, right? It's very simple.
Minors makes them different.
Oh my God. When you've got people who are minors, you generally have that level of understanding that they're kids and kids do stupid things. It's not the same as being mentally retarded, but you should like let kids be kids, and you should probably be encouraging your communities.
The thing is like the reason that kids are dumb like that is because they don't know better. And you would hold that space for anybody who doesn't know better, right? Like if you had somebody who was Amish and they never do anything except for a cart and a buggy.
Has all the IQ of a baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
If you presented Beckett with hydrogen bomb S coving baby would start asking what the bomb said of the stories.
This is a strong message. They hear the $5. Everybody witness. Like if you had somebody who was Amish that came into the English world and they didn't know like all of this shit, you would like make exceptions for that, right? Like you would like hold space for that, right? Like you'd be like, oh, you don't know what a car is. I'm probably not going to let you drive. You know what I mean? It's meeting people where they're at and understanding that not everybody has like the same capacity to understand what the fuck is going on.
To not have fucking kids in them.
But why do kids do stupid things? What is it about them physically?
Because they're small.
They're immature.
They have impaired cognition. It's the same reason that they can't. It's the same thing. That
No, I hate that fucking argument.
Wait,
Like,
you don't think
I don't know. No, because
kids have impaired cognition.
Sure. Okay, let's go to that argument. Were you abusive towards Bo Blacks? He's got impaired cognition.
Bo Black's cognition was not impaired to the extent where it'd be
He's a
comparable to
fucking
that of a
massive
child.
autist who was like crashing out.
But you realize,
and
like
talking-
there's levels to this shit, right? Like there's a reason that it's considered a spectrum, because you can have people that are high functioning, like quote unquote, people don't really like that phrase, but it's like it's helpful in describing these kinds of things. You can have somebody like Elon Musk who has very limited impairment. Like he's kind of socially awkward. He's really kind of weird, but you wouldn't think twice about it. And then you have people that will literally die in the care of the state because they can't talk, they can't feed themselves, they can't even go to the bathroom because they're so cognitively impaired. Like this is a broad spectrum, right? This isn't just like, oh, well, like imagine putting like Bo Blacks in the same category as somebody who's like completely nonverbal and like can't go to the bathroom. That's like what we're doing. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Like they're on totally different fucking levels. Like Bo Blacks does not have a guardian. Bo Blacks does not have like a legal caretaker. You could make an argument maybe he should, but like, you know what I mean? Like these are different things.
to you about his mum and like losing his house. Is that not impaired cognition?
Beckett,
Is him not like having these cracked out impaired cognition?
How many 13-year-olds do you know that are losing their house by their own volition, right? Like the thing is, obviously, somebody merely having autism, which is going to describe probably most of the people in both of our chats. It's a spectrum.
True.
It describes a broad range.
Oh my god, I love it.
Of impacts either to social functioning and sometimes in more severe cases impacts on one's cognition, right? Obviously, when we're talking about that woman in particular, wasn't she a conservatorship? She was under a conservatorship living with her parents?
Yep.
I believe so.
Yeah, so the state deemed that she was unable to handle her own affairs. Bo Blacks, even the state did not determine that was true for Bo Blacks. The state did not like her rights as a person
okay, just
are comparable to that of a minor.
Do you think these things need to be like universalized? Do you think that it's like just a one size fits all? Or do you think
no, that's quite the opposite of what he's arguing for. What he's arguing for very specifically is that there's a difference between somebody who is like Bo Blacks and somebody who has the state has determined like needs care because they can't care for themselves. Like it's not a one size fits all. It's that there is a drastic difference in functional and cognitive ability between these two examples of people. And one requires a lot more care and tact when dealing with, right? Like
Malcolm has all the IQ of a baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
Jet you a friend, Bo defends you like Beckett defends Lio.
Thank you very much for the $9.99. Everybody witness, please. My new rule is that if you're not hog riding me this hard, I'm kicking you out of my community. Like I want what Lio has with Beckett, or I want nothing at all. Okay? I need you guys to do this for me. All right? I'm just kidding. Don't do that. That's weird.
Situations can be dependent on like
on the level of we can assess the individual level of functioning of the adult in question to determine if it is
that's not what I'm
asking.
That's not what I'm asking. Do you think that these situations, like when we're talking about whether we interact with people or not, or whether we're talking about like who's like, do you think I should ban Angry Slug from my chat?
I have, based on my conversations with Angry, like, wait, for what reason? Because of the things he's done?
Yeah.
I don't argue for banning bad people from your chat.
Okay. Do you think anybody should ever work with Angry Slug again?
Probably not. No.
Okay. So it's just like there's nothing Slug can do that in any way could like redeem him.
In this community that where I feel like credibility is like very important. No, but I'm sure he can succeed and thrive in like.
I don't mean like again. I don't think Lio's ever going to have a load of credibility. That wasn't my argument. Do you think that anybody should ever interact with Angry Slug again?
Like, interact with him? You can interact with him, but I would not trust him in the context of work. Like if you interview him in regards to a story that he was involved in, be my fucking guest. I don't care. But in regards to like delegating tasks to him, using him for information, using him for help and research in relation to information that's meant to smear the credibility of others. No, I would not give him that trust. No.
Wait, hold on. If Slug has information where it's just like, I don't know, someone's DMs, or he's had a conversation, or he has like a stream conversation with somebody. Like he had this with KP, right? He had KP on and he had a conversation with her.
I don't know what that is.
Like, does that become unusable?
No, because what I've said before is there are some pieces of evidence that are hinging upon.
There's a difference between like covering somebody's content and like using information that they're able to procure or present, and then like being buds, right? Like I think there's a difference there, because there's plenty of people that I don't like, and that I would not fuck with ever. But like if they were like, hey, here's a screenshot of this thing, I'd be like, oh, sick, thanks. Like that doesn't mean that we're like tight or anything like that. Like I just don't understand it. These are very, very different things. They're very, very different. Like this is the black and white thinking that they warn you of. Okay, this is a terminally autistic trait. Okay, being unable to think outside of the box, and unfortunately, we're gonna have to put Beckett down.
Upon the credibility of the person delegating that evidence in cases where it's something more objective, like a recorded conversation or transcripts where the evidence can be scrutinized, the first-hand evidence can be scrutinized by the public, then no, the credibility of the person who's obtained that evidence isn't really going to be very important. Where that would be important is if they maybe didn't record the conversation and are litigating to you what they think happened. Or what they remember happened. Okay. It's off of like recollection. Then their credibility would be way more important. When it's like first-hand, no. When you can review the
How much longer does this go on for, do you think? Oh my god. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost there. Okay, we've only got we're close.
Evidence? No, it doesn't really matter that much.
Okay, but as long as you've got the first-hand evidence, it's fine, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I disagree with you.
Yeah, I don't know where that line of questioning was going.
Well, no, the line of questioning is sort of like, well, at what point do you like? So, for instance, like food shops is back in the cycle, and like people have interacted with food shops, or there's a stuff.
No, we're not interacting with food shops. Food shops is a fucking degenerate freak. Absolutely the fuck not. Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. There's like, and what is the utility of like working with these people as well? Like, this is like internet bullshit, dude. It's not like it's your friend of 20 fucking years who got a DUI or something. It's like, this is some random fucking person that you don't even know. And they offer no utility to you outside of being like a dancing fucking clown on your stream, dude. Like, get some perspective.
Stuff with Spinal BJ, or like stuff around morale with like how morale's acted in the past, or like multiple people who've had little dramas. Like, what's the cutoff point for people?
I don't know what other
I guess
people,
like that's.
I don't know what other people's
No.
cutoff point would be. I don't know. I don't understand the relevance of this.
Well, you're asking me about like Lio and where the cutoff point is, and my general thing is like I think this comes down to like the individual case, right?
Yeah, what has Morale done that would be like relevant to his like credibility in regards to like content information or like
The
information?
Achuto stuff, the argument with you, the stuff with the 17-year-old,
Okay.
like
Okay.
misinformation
Okay.
that's been spread through stories,
Okay.
like because fuck actually,
Beckett,
Aiden, that's your argument that you had with him,
Beckett,
right?
You're gish galloping. The first 2 points that you made are actually 1 point. The Cheeto thing and his conversation with me are the same thing. And in that conversation, where I obviously was heavily critical of Morale, that conversation, he had an underlying point, like, hey, yeah, it is like bizarre that like you're like so reliant on the attention of like young fans or whatever. But in the way in which he presented it, made it sound like he was trying to paint a Cheeto as some sort of pedo. So what that would, when I'm taking the situation and looking how it reflects on somebody's broader character, what did that situation indicate to me? What were my conclusions? Morale sucks at debating, and Morale sucks at verbalizing his points because he had a genuine underlying defensible position that he destroyed for himself based on his fundamental incompetence when it comes to live discussion and debate. So the overall impediment that would have on his character would not be enough, or it would ruin his credibility for me in regards to like working with him.
Has morale entered calls and called people pedophiles and rapists on live stream?
On stream, probably has at some point, but it probably wasn't like a genuine
So
point.
would that not undercut his credibility? The fact that he's pedo-jacketed people,
like him trolling, if he tried to.
Dude, come on. Literally, fucking Lio said that Sai was probably a pedophile, said that I was probably a fucking pedophile. Like, come on, dude. You cannot be so fucking for real, dude. What the hell? What the actual fuck, bro? What the actual fuck? Haha, gotcha, bitch.
This call, and I said to you,
Is
Beckett,
that Dave Chappelle?
he's talking about like the 14-year-old you've been DMing, right? Did you feel like I was trying to pedo jacket you?
no, it's just like what the fuck are you talking
I was
about?
making a joke,
but that's
right?
also you're not yeah, but you're not coming into a call and going you're a pedophile. Morale's done that.
That's essentially what I just did. That's literally kind of what I just did. I got into the
That
call.
was still loud as fuck. That's so annoying because I literally turned it down. That's so annoying. Sorry, guys.
No, it's
you
not.
did
It's
something.
not. It's not the same. It's obviously not the same thing. You're
It
making a
is.
joke about like allegations and stuff.
Yeah, and he's making a joke that
versus-
somebody's a pedophile
How do you know it's a joke?
because he never seriously tried to defend that position. Situation, and then when we're assessing the person as a whole, you're going to say, okay, what did they do in this situation?
So do you think?
What
So again,
implications?
those things undercut his credibility, right?
No, what that did, it undercut. He wasn't lying. He was just poorly debating a point. What that would undercut is his ability to defend a position in a live format, which is why I didn't like that he went in and debated Papa Gut. I wouldn't trust him for that job. No.
Okay. And he's
Papa God,
like
I haven't
again,
heard
that's
that
kind
name
of
in
the point
years.
here. Like those things, how someone might act in a like a live environment, regardless of what's going on, may undercut their credibility,
Well, no,
right?
that's
But people will still work with morale.
that's the point for Morale. I'm not even making a credibility argument for Lio.
Well, again, I'm just like I'm giving you examples of the fact that like you take people individually, right, and like where they're at. I'm not trying to defend Lio to anybody.
Well, yeah, but what you would look at is, as I said before, you look at the action itself, and if you're looking at the a greater assessment of the person, you would say what factors made them commit this action, and what implications does that have on their overall character, right? And when I look at the things that Lio has done and assess his potential motives, what I see is a sad old man attempting to have some power in his life at other people's expense to the point where he's willing to engage. In my opinion, listen to that whole call I've been around for 8 years. It's one of the worst things I've ever heard. That call that like was horrible. The fact that it never clicked to him that hey, I need to take a step back here. What I'm doing like is horrible. It's like someone else needed to come in there and tell that to him, and in like the first hour he couldn't see that for himself. It tells me he like either lacks fundamental insight that would be like integral to him not fucking up, or he just doesn't have any empathy for other people, which also could lead to another fuck up.
Yeah, there's gonna be another fuck up certainly.
Okay, I just feel like that's like again, I don't disagree with you that the Rosa call's fucking horrific.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, I'm not just talking about the call itself is horrific. I'm talking about what implications does that have on Lio as a person that he was able to do that call happened.
Yeah, but I mean,
Well, yeah, again, it's a question of character, right?
just seems like just a moral fact because like everyone says this about so many
he
things.
said
like,
it. Who said it in chat? Somebody said that he was gonna do it. Somebody just got a bingo. Somebody got a bingo. Somebody in chat earlier said he's gonna say moral flagging. Somebody said that. Somebody said that. Congratulations, you're the bingo winner.
How many times, like, with covering a drama, have people sat here and gone, "Oh my god, it's fucking evil the way you're dealing with this. Like, it's terrible the way that this is unfolded. It's so like I can't believe what monsters you all are."
This is a non-point. Other people say a lot of things. I disagree.
Okay, cool. And I don't care what they say, and I'm just like, look, I'm at the point.
You should
like,
care.
look,
You should care if what they're saying has like backing. Like if you look at the facts, and what they're saying.
no, hold on.
Substantiated,
I think there are probably hold on. I think there are definitely arguments there.
Jerbear, congratulations. How does it feel to win? You guys are all winners in my heart.
Like on real terms, that some of the stuff we cover in commentary,
Malcolm
some of
has
the stuff
all
we
the IQ of a baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
It's not gonna rate it because you said abortion. Thank you, side witness. Yeah. I mean, the abortion thing was incredibly fucked. Again, I think that that's like an indication of character, because I had said before, you know, like there are certain things that I don't think are appropriate to go for. I'm of the opinion, of course, everything can be said in the right tone with the right audience. Anything can be funny enough if you're funny enough to say it and the audience is right, and, you know, it's the right phase of the moon or whatever the fuck. I I wouldn't say something like that. I wouldn't say something like that to like own somebody on like a live stream. I wouldn't do that. The example that I gave was like, you know, some people make jokes at the expense of Poppy's late wife. I think that's fucked up. The wife didn't fucking do anything. Okay, I don't have to be like, oh my god, like I can't believe your wife escaped your grasp by getting bucked off of a fucking horse and dying. That's crazy, dude. That's fucking insane. Okay, that's insane. Even if I don't like somebody, I'm not gonna be like, shove that bitch down the stairs. Like I just don't. I don't think that's appropriate. I think that's fucked up. I think that's fucked up. And I think that if your metric is, I wouldn't say that. I think that it's fair to assume that somebody who pretends to be the beacon of virtue and ethics, Lio Convoy, that it's fucking insane that he would say that, right? If I would not say that, I think that says a lot, you guys. I think that says a lot.
Go over and like how callous commentators can be is absolutely unethical. I don't disagree with that point at all. I just don't care. I mean, do you think that every commentator, do you think how Chud handles everything is like completely ethical? Like he's always like in an ethically good position as a commentator?
Probably not, but when he isn't handling so like when you're looking at the individual actions, Chud
There's a difference between like the way that you cover something and the way that you act. Like I don't understand this disconnect. It's so fucking frustrating to listen to. There's a difference between like, oh, I really disliked the way that you covered this piece of content, and then like I really disliked how you literally like screamed at a 15-year-old and told them that you were gonna like eat their abortion and shit. I think that's fucking. It's different. Royal Kittenhouse, come back.
Done that I would maybe consider, hey, this is probably not ethical. The conclusion that would have for my judgment of his character would not be comparable to that of Lio's. Because
I'm not saying it's comparable. Why are we talking about comparable? I'm not talking about
we're talking
comparable.
about the people.
Well, no, because you're talking about ethical stuff, and like I'm just saying that yes, in certain environments, like you might not say it's comparable, but there are plenty of people who would say that like
exactly. You guys are right. It's the combination of moral grandstanding and then also being like an aberrant piece of shit that deserves like an eternity in hell. Yeah, that's the difference there, right? Like just don't be fake about it. It's everybody hates a fake bitch. Okay, so when you're like, no guys, I think that it's really important that we act moral and that we act righteous and good, and then you're like, anyway, so yummy soup abortion. It's like, no, these two things cannot coexist. these are no.
What Chud does is evil, right?
And
like some of the stuff that Chud said is evil. Sure. You may not think it's evil. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying there are people who will look at the coverage we all do and go, that's fucked up. Right? There are people who will look at Queen saying the N-word and say that that's racist, right?
People incorrectly think a lot of things. The question is, can they substantiate it? And if they can, I'll agree or disagree.
No, hold on. These are not objective things. These are just like these are opinions. When we're talking about people's...
Well, yeah, but can your opinion not be weighted like with fact? Like it's my opinion that black coffee is the best coffee. And I can argue like, well, you know, if you have a really good roast, you know, you can really taste the bitterness of the beans and the smoothness of how well it's ground. Like you can substantiate your opinions. People can still disagree with it, but if your opinion is like, I think the black coffee is the best, and everybody's like, oh, why do you think that? And you're like, because fucking kill yourself. That's why. Like Hello.
Your opinions should have some basis. If you're like if I was to get someone to call here and they wanted to argue someone was evil, I would say, okay, what is like your definition of evil? And what I would either do is I would explain why the person they're talking about doesn't fit under their own definition, or I would dispute the definition by providing them with an example of somebody they clearly don't think is evil that fits their own definition to prove that their definition doesn't work.
Okay.
So you can like argue all these things. Listen,
I mean, you can. I just think that's kind of gay. Okay. I just don't care.
Well, then don't engage in the conversation then. Like, put your broom away and let Lio struggle to pick it up off the ground. He's got like one of those like claw things, you know, like that old people use where it's like the claw and you use it to like pick shit up or whatever because you can't bend over. Let him get the little claw out and like pick up the broom, and then he can, you know, try to do that. Like let him do it. Let him do it. He's a big boy. He's a big boy.
I think that's my baseline. I'm kind of interested
Malcolm
in this from like a content bracket. I'm not here
of a
because
baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
There we go.
My opinion is that Lio is fat. Exhibit 2. Gluba.
Very strong message. I agree. Thank you for the $2 dues. This reminds me, Luna. Next year, I think I'm gonna dress up as Pilgrim. because at raves everybody does like wizard and witch outfits. That's very popular. I'm gonna dress up like a pilgrim, and then I'm gonna do the witch like every time that I see somebody dressed like that. I think that's gonna be my bit. Next year. I think I'm gonna do that. I think that's actually quite good. I think that's quite good. Anything for a good laugh, you guys. Literally anything for a good laugh. Literally anything.
I'm trying to set any ethical standards and stuff. I think generally what we as commentators do is ethically questionable quite a lot of the fucking time. I think moral fagging about it is gay. I think it's fine to do.
Wow.
But it's also like, well, at what point is this like, I don't know, this person needs to be fucking pariahed out and cancel cultured.
Why do you care about pedophilia? Like, why do you even give a fuck if somebody like touches a kid? Like, why is that like, why do you care?
I think that there are certain things that cause levels of harm that
so you obviously do apply like ethical values to like the content creation sphere. The question is, where do you apply those ethical values and why? And I agree with you. We should
I agree with you. I do, but I try to keep those limited, and I try to keep those. Again, these are my ethical values of what, like the lines I fucking draw. I do not hold anyone else those standards. If somebody comes to me with like a drama and goes, "This is really fucked up," and I go, "Oh well, if a kid wasn't raped, I don't care," that would be an insane thing to think.
Hang on. What?
Again, these are my ethical values of what, like the lines I fucking draw. I do not hold anyone else those standards. If somebody comes to me with like a drama and goes, "This is really fucked up," and I go, "Oh well, if a kid wasn't raped, I don't care," that would be an insane thing to
Malcolm
think.
has all the
That's
IQ
basically-
like
people obviously
so
That's
no,
basically what he
I don't
said.
think so.
E.T. Malcolm's wife. You're a cool.
Oh, thank you very much for the 199. I will pass the message along. Everybody witness. Okay.
You're gonna have different values. I'm just giving you mine.
Okay,
right?
well, sure. But I guess I'm saying like you're doing this thing where you're simultaneously like being like, I don't give a fuck about like ethics, but like it's clear you do give
Ethics
some
are
fuck
gay.
about ethics. It just seems like it's like a bit inconsistent.
Ethics
right?
are gay.
No, I give a fuck about it. No, hold on. No. It's not inconsistent because I don't think you're asking me whether I care about some of these things, like some of the things you've listed out, and like those associations and ways. And I'm just saying, I think a lot of what we do is like ethically questionable because I think that there is coverage that we all do, which I look at and I go, well, I can't believe I did that. I was a bit fucked up because like I'm self-critical enough to look at stuff and go, I'm not just like some good or neutral actor. I understand there are things that I've covered that I shouldn't. Is abnormal or like just part of the internet culture that's kind of made that okay. But in the real world, that would be like fucking wild. But at the same time, I'm also not dictating those ethics around you. If you care about something and I just don't on an ethical level, or I'm like, yeah, whatever, I can, like, if you come to me about it, it's like, people came to me about the Willie Mack stuff and was like, what Willie Mack's doing is evil. He's not researching things. You need to do something. We need to. I was like, that's gay. I'm just out. That's gay. I don't care. But at the same time, if other people care about that, more fucking power to them. I'm not going to tell them to stop caring. I'm not going to go on a crusade and be like, Aiden, you're not allowed to care about this. It's just that you're asking about something where like I don't. Right? I've given you my standards.
They're just as unclear as they were to me at the beginning, but I guess I can't really make you care. You're right. I can't force you to care about anything you don't want to care about. I just feel as though we should be applying our ethical standards outside of the context of child rape as well.
Malcolm has all the IQ of a baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
Vaja Blast Twincias.
Oh my god. Cheers, my dude. Everybody witness. Thank you. Oh, you can do whatever the fuck you want, Ella. I don't care.
I feel like, in my opinion,
I think that look, there are other things obviously that I do give a shit about. It's not just that. I'm just giving you
which is why I hate this. But that's why I hate this persona of like, I'm just here to laugh at the lolcows, man. It's not moral flagging or whatever. Who gives a fuck?
Well,
like,
hold on.
It's Schrodinger's not
Generally
caring.
speaking, no. Generally speaking, and I have a record and form for this with content that like annoys me too much or hits me on an emotional level where I can't just laugh at it. I generally don't cover it and I take a step back from it. I've actively said this. So like if content actually annoys me,
Well, then why are you here having this conversation, bud? It seems like a walk into a rake moment. You know what I mean?
Upsets me or hits me in a particular way, I'll back away from it because that's not what I'm here for. This is like my hobby. I'm here to relax and like piss around. Why would I actively engage in things that upset me?
I mean, I feel like you like sure this is like a hobby, but like at the same time, I feel like you do treat like generally in this sphere like it is treated a little like semi-professionally as well. Can't you agree? Like you engage in research, you engage in like would you not say this is like an?
Well, earlier he was talking too about like the integrity of the information that people present, and he's talking about how like some people can be compromised.
Malcolm has all the IQ of a baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
Beckett sounds like a peuple please vid no spina.
This is a very strong message. Everybody witness, please. Like he was earlier talking about, how like you could say with morale or, Queeman, depending on whatever it is, like that you could find these people to be questionable enough where you wouldn't want to engage with them. But now we've like 180'd on it. So
it's a fairly unique hobby.
I can take a hobby. I can, yeah, absolutely. And I can take something like seriously. Like if my hobby was like playing sport, I might try and like, let's say I was playing football or something. I try and play to the best of my ability, but also I'm not like pro like I'm not a pro player, I'm not a professional. Does that make sense? Like you can still work hard at something and do something well and properly. But if, for instance, there was a football match and it got really serious, or like I expected a fight to break out or something.
He means soccer, by the way. He means soccer.
Or like a load of people were like, there was a like serious rivalry of something where it's going to lead to other stuff. I might be like, well, I'm just here to play the fucking sport.
I think maybe I have
Is that unreasonable?
no, I guess maybe I have a misunderstanding. I must be totally wrong on what kind of content you make. I thought you make content that criticizes others. Is that not true?
Kill him! Kill him!
I make criticisms of others, but generally speaking, a lot of like, if you look over like my Saberspar video or even the Jar video, there's not like hard accountability takes in there. They're information pieces. Generally speaking, from streams, I'll criticize people, but I'm largely laughing at people. I'm in cases where I have done this thing, like this is really fucked up, I've actually been called out for it. And in like one case recently, where somebody was like, Beckett's getting very close to doing accountability content, I was like, that's actually a fair point, and that's not what I'm here for. And actively sought to like adjust from that.
Well, sure, you don't make like prescriptions, but you don't make any condemnations of like bad actions.
I think that you can make condemnations of bad actions, but at the same time, there's a difference between bad actions and condemnations of bad actions, like with let's say the Destiny stuff, which obviously like hit me on like a level where I got so pissed off with it.
Well, and the problem is with that situation is that Beckett cared because he was the one getting the criticism, right? Like, it's not that there was anything wrong about what Beckett had said. It's not like he misreported on the situation. You can have criticisms, like the criticism was that he released this all without Pixie's, involvement or consent, and they're kind of like throwing her under the bus to get the hit piece out or whatever the fuck. Like, that's different. Right? It's because the criticism was levied towards you individually, right? Versus saying like this content sucks or like you did a bad job with this video versus being like you mishandled this. These are completely separate criticisms, no?
Made obvious fucking mistakes because I was angry.
Okay, but
just to be clear,
we don't need this. Okay, we don't need like a word salad on every point. Just to be clear, you do like make condemnations of bad actions through your coverage online, right?
Yeah, sure. So like, okay,
yes
I don't know if I make moral prescriptions. I make criticisms.
I just said you don't make prescriptions. You don't need to make prescriptions. I'm just saying,
okay.
like, have you ever tried to say, maybe not verbatim, something is bad, or like, have you ever said something is bad?
Yeah, sure.
So you make moral claims about other people, then I think it's like fair to maintain like a some consistency in regards to the enforcement of moral ethics. Yeah.
But hold on. It's like that can be a very offhand comment. I think there's a difference between something is bad and an obviously bad action, or I think this thing is bad in my opinion, or like what the fuck are you doing, you retard.
Well, but he said earlier that everything is a subjective judgment. Like whether or not somebody says the N-word with a soft A, whether or not somebody is like a dick to people on Discord. Like he said that his line for all of this was like grooming, rape, pedophile, like that kind of shit. That was his line. Everything else is by definition subjective then, no? Everything else is by definition subjective. So yeah, of course, like even if you're looking at like the Saberspark thing or the Destiny video, that is still going to be a subjective judgment at the end of the day. So you can't, ping pong back and forth between objectivity and subjectivity when it fits the argument that you're trying to make. You have to either agree, yes, all of this is subjective, or none of it is subjective. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy.
This person needs to be cancelled and driven off the internet. I'm not saying you're doing this, but like, there's like degrees.
Yeah, I'm not saying you make prescriptions. I'm not saying you make prescriptions. That you can obviously like morally assess something without making a moral prescription.
Sure.
So your lack of prescriptions isn't really going to change the substance of what I said.
Okay.
All right. Well, good talk.
I'll try and get Lio to talk to you. And it should be clear. I mean, like, if I sound frustrated by the Lio stuff, it is because I also understand that this doesn't come from like a vacuum. I know with you're just watching the content. We've talked about it before, and I know you have an interest.
Yeah, I know.
But I also know there is.
I'm not involved. Yeah,
there is a massive pickup of people who are exactly the same as Lio. There's no fucking difference. Who just want to go after Lio because he annoyed him once. Again, it's entirely personal, and that pisses me off.
All those people can die too.
Yeah, because what they're looking for is an attack dog, and that's it. And that's why. So if like I'm less willing to like try and like fucking murder Lio occasionally, and actually in one of the like cases, part of the reason I eased up was because I realized that there was just
Malcolm
a contingent
has all
there
the IQ of a baked potato, so no, I don't think so.
Beckett doesn't want to take a position at about to defend.
Thank you very much, Sai. Everybody witness, please. No, it's like that's something that I find a really hard time with because it's like you essentially become uncriticizable because it's like you're like, oh well, I don't actually care about it. This is just hypothetically like what I would say if I did care about it. It's very I don't know. It's frustrating to try to like engage with that kind of stuff, right? Because it's like, why is it hard to just like stake out a position on something like, no, actually this was really fucked up and I agree with it, or argue against it, you know what I mean?
people who were exactly fucking like him, who previously used him, who were trying to go after him. That's why I went after Crystal Flame. She did exactly the same fucking shit.
I have no idea who that person. I don't know who like anyone you references, but I'm sure if I looked into it, I'd agree with you on that. But yeah, I mean, also before we go, I invite any of the many members of Beckett's audience to disagree with me. As always, my lines are always open. Anyone's allowed to call in and voice their disagreements. I love it.
Is this just farming? Okay, I've got I've got a question for you. How did you last so long with fucking Worm Girl?
How did I last so long with her?
Yeah.
Well, I'm like very good at preoccupying myself by zoning out and like thinking about what I'm gonna do with my life, etc., etc. So at moments I was kind of zoned out, like when she was talking to Aiko. But I was also like genuinely just like entertained. It was like I realized like about 30 minutes into it, no, way less than that. This is probably gonna be some of the best content I've had in weeks. And it's like
Noval, this is a very strong message. I am always right. I would like to acknowledge us. Thank you very much.
Whoa! This is a strong message!
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, and Don't Smoke in Bed does have the Goddamnit Malcolm hoodie. I also have one of those. I never wear it though, but I do have one of those. So you're very welcome to check those out as well. Yeah. Very cool.
the payoff is going to be worth it, and this is very entertaining. And I was also just fascinated by the person I was talking to, because I didn't know if it was like a troll or not. I didn't for somebody to be like, I've never had someone get that unhinged over such a low stakes conversation before. I was like, in absolute
how do you feel that you caused the breakup?
Happy. I think I saved a man's life. If I'm truly if I truly caused that breakup, I'm genuinely happy. I hope Duckbringer gets the help that she clearly needs, but at the same time, I don't think it's like ultimately good for Resi to spend the rest of his life cleaning up her messes. Even though he likes to also do the feigned I don't care shit. Like, he probably would care. It's probably not going to be great for him in the long run. And she is a walking red flag, and I'm glad he got it over with sooner than later.
Okay, fair enough. I'm being told to never pick up a call from you again.
Yeah, your audience sucks. They all suck. But yeah, thanks for calling in. Take care.
Peace, buddy. Later.
Well, that was our Beckett convo. Yeah, I guess they did break up. I'll check the stream out.
LOL.
Hold on. Let me get off way 4.
That's separate shit, Travis. That's separate shit.
You got owned? True.
Okay, where's the patch shit? When does that start? It looks like right here. Right.
Can I help you?
Hello. Apologies.
Ugh. Ugh. Here we go, guys. Oh fuck. I think I might want to smoke before this. I think I want to smoke before we do this. I think I need a cigarette before we do this. I don't think I can do this without having a cigarette. I think I have to have a cigarette. I'm so sorry, guys. I think I have to. Okay. Final thoughts. Final thoughts. I'm in love with Aiden. I'm really proud of Brittany Simon and their transition. I'm so sorry. I'm very happy for Brittany Simon and their transition. Yeah, I'm really proud of that. I love my trans siblings, so I'm very happy to see that Brittany Simon is living her truth as Aiden Underground. That's very beautiful. Yeah, if Beckett wants to stop being accused of sweeping for Lio, he should stop doing it. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. And everything's an opinion. Everything's subjective. You know what I mean?